I'm joined now by Byron York. Byron, what do you expect tonight?
Well, I think that we got a clue to what Kamala Harris wants to do with these reports about the microphone controversy, which originally the microphone controversy was thought to be based on the fear that Donald Trump would interrupt Kamala Harris like he did with Joe Biden back in 2020. But in fact, apparently the microphone controversy was in part based on Kamala Harris's plan to interrupt Donald Trump and to do this as a prosecutor. And as you know, her campaign talks, and she talks all the time about her former life as a prosecutor. And they show videos of her actually on the Senate Judiciary Committee giving Brett Kavanaugh a hard time and Jeff Sessions a hard time. So I think that what they had conceived the debate as a way for her to prosecute Donald Trump and to interrupt him. But didn't you, Mr. Trump, in fact, do this or that? And apparently that plan kind of went out the window with the muted microphone rule. So I think that's what she plans to do, maybe in a little different form. As far as Trump is concerned, what can I say? I think he has a very, very simple job. And the job is to make this point. When I was president, things were good. When Biden and Harris became president, things became bad. Elect me, and I'll make it good again. That's basically the entire Trump campaign.
I agree with you. And I think Elon Musk yesterday, if he could say what Elon said last night, I want to play for you. Elon Musk did a podcast last night, and he said this, cut number 27.
I think actually the reality is that if we get rid of nonsense regulations and shift people from the government sector to the private sector, we will have immense prosperity, and I think we'll have a golden age in this country. And it'll be fantastic.
So, Byron, I don't know that Trump has the ability not to take bait because he's a brawler and he's from Queens. He's Rockefeller without the art collection. And I expect, and he's got no ideology, right? He's not driven by ideology, he's driven by personality and achievement. And so I don't know what he's going to do. Either one could, quote, win. I want to focus on, I mean, I've interviewed him 24 times. I have no idea. He's the best interview in America because you have no idea what he's going to say about anything ever. But tonight, I think the real test is on ABC, which is facing a Bud Light risk for it and its parent Disney. Do you think they know that?
That's a great question. Listen, I have no inside knowledge of the workings of the debate preparation at ABC. You think, why is ABC doing the debate? Well, Joe Biden picked them. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden picked them as part of an offer to Donald Trump. It wasn't really an offer. It was an offer designed to be refused. So he challenged Trump two debates, one with CNN, one with ABC, in the belief that Trump would refuse it. And then Biden
with no audience and no microphone unmuted during the other person's timing.
So this was thought to be so antithetical to everything that Trump wanted that he would definitely refuse. And then Biden could say Trump is too scared to debate. I mean, that's how we got ABC. And then when Harris instantly became the Democratic candidate, she acted as if Trump she obviously wanted the ABC debate too, and she acted as if Trump had already accepted the debate with her, which he had not done. But ultimately, Trump actually did it. So this is the network that Democrats wanted for this debate. This is everything they wanted for this debate.
But if they go Candy Crowley, I mean, if they do, they will have a Bud Light moment. And Disney is the parent. And I've done 5 debates with networks, 4 with CNN, 1 with NBC. Everybody is involved. There are 50 people involved. I was the only non-network person in those rooms for all those dozens of days of debate prep. I was astonished by how many people are involved. And it goes all the way to the top of the parent corporation because they got so much riding on this, Byron. So do you think they can be fair. That is their test. And I think they can go to the high ground of commander-in-chief questions and be safe. But do you think they will?
I think Trump would say, and he has said in public, that he thought the CNN debate actually was fair.
Yes.
And that they didn't do a lot of editorializing. They just asked questions and then let the candidates say what they wanted to say. So, obviously there's a lot of playing the refs before this. And certainly the whole idea of playing the refs from Trump's point of view is to make the moderators aware of their bias and make them bend over backwards to try to not show their bias. So is that going to be in play tonight? I don't know.
You work the refs one way. You can work the refs in real time. And I have seen Newt Gingrich invent this in the 2012 cycle with John King at CNN.
Yeah.
And I have seen it used, which is to ask the moderators questions about their questions. For example, if Kamala Harris was derailed in her strategy, she just has to adapt a little bit and say, David, Lindsay, are you going to ask him ever about January 6th and how he incited a mob? Yeah, it's very easy to do. I don't know if either of them will be able to deliver. It's a quick thing. I mean, you just repeat it. They have 2 minutes this time. That's the key difference. 90 seconds in the CNN debate. 2 minutes is a long time.
I thought so too. I mean, that's a long statement, and you can get bored in 2 minutes actually. And I do think you mentioned, I think with David Drucker or me, the whole baiting idea. And obviously, there's tons of stuff that Harris can use to bait Trump, starting with convicted felon.
Oh, what's your over/under on the use of the term convicted and felon? I'm putting the line at 20. Are you under it or over it?
How high? Yeah, how high can you go? Well, I don't think she's going to overuse it, but she's definitely going to use it. And as a matter of fact, in her very first speeches as a presidential candidate, she actually referred, I think, to 3 cases. She called him a sexual abuser, referring to the E. Jean Carroll case. She called him like a business cheat or something, referring to the New York Letitia James lawsuit. And then she referred to him as like a hush money criminal or something, referring to the Alvin Bragg prosecution in New York. And those are 3 cases that have actually been adjudicated. So my guess is she's going to do that again, and he's going to have an answer and a way of treating that is not just him exploding and saying they were all bullshit cases and going after me and blah, blah, blah.
You can't say that word, I don't think, anymore, but because we're carried on television now. But I will say this, Byron, that he can say one thing, which is, I'm not going to rise to the debate about your lawfare question. Everybody in America knows it's lawfare, and it's hurting you, Kamala. It hurt you, it hurt Joe Biden. It drove him out of this race. It got me a momentum. America knows you're using lawfare. I'm not going to respond to that. Let's talk about jobs. Do you think he possibly can do that?
I don't actually know if he can get away with that. I think he has to say something. I mean, he's standing there, and whatever you think of the circumstance, been convicted of a bunch of felony counts in a New York state trial, and he has had these other adjudications against him. This is absolutely lawfare, but I think he has to address them in some way, and more than what you just said, which is say, you're better than that. I'm not going to speak of these things.
Okay, my exit question, I have 2. Do you think the 2019 ACLU questionnaire will come up? Because Andrew Kaczynski gets the scoop of the year on that story.
Yeah, that was a great story, and yes, it should. As a matter of fact, her entire 2019 campaign should be the basis of a lot of what he says, because she has still not changed her position from her positions in 2019. Yes, her campaign.
Okay, running mates for 200. Who was Richard Nixon's running mate in 1960?
Henry Cabot Lodge.
That's it. You got it. Ding, ding, ding. Final Jeopardy will come up later. Byron York for the win. Thank you, Byron York. Don't go anywhere, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt.